Hi Aries, welcome to Sophquest. I'm Spence. Welcome in if you're new to the channel. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome back to any of my subscribers. Hi. This is a weekly reading for you guys, and it is for September 13th through the 19th. I hope you had a good week last week. I thought the energy was nice, and we had some good trines to work with, right? With that new moon, a practical new beginning, and getting some detailed things worked out. This week, we're going to get a little deeper. This week, the personal planets of Venus and Mars are moving, and we're starting the week on Monday with the sun opposite Neptune. Just got your card flipped right out. Sun opposite Neptune. So that can be ideals versus the disappointments of real life. Kind of like the Disney princess version of relationship, and then getting really real in Virgo about real actual relationship stuff. So it's kind of that energy, and we'll talk about it as we go along. Two gorgeous decks today I'm going to be using and just shuffled for you from the Spirit Messages by John Holland and artwork by Matt Manley. And I'm also using the Druid Craft Tarot deck, and this is by Philip and Stephanie Cargam with Will Worthington's art, which I love so much. And if I need any kind of clarification, I might use another little deck that has the art of Will Worthington as well, but we'll see, okay? So I just shuffled the Spirit Messages Oracle deck for you, and I got Serenity. Serenity. What a beautiful card for you, Aries. I love that. Look at the artwork. It's so gorgeous. It says, the most important relationship you can have right now is with yourself. This is a time to honor, nurture, and love yourself more by seeking out and removing any negative feelings and emotions that are left over from yesterday or before, right? Don't let past issues and resentments interfere with your serenity today. Serenity. All right, that's a beautiful card for you. And I'll pull more if I want to. I'm not sure. This deck, I don't want to read from the book. I'm actually reading the cards. So we'll see. I might pull a couple more as I go through the reading. We'll just kind of wing it this week. It feels good, right? I do what feels right. Okay. So I'm going to shuffle for you with this deck, the Druid Craft. These are very large cards. I think the artwork is stunningly beautiful. And I hope you're doing well, Aries. Again, we've got some sort of relationship stuff, probably talks about relationships this week. Could be with your main person, it could be with somebody else in your life, any very prominent relationships that you're kind of working through. All right, so Aries, settle in with me if you will. Let's do what we do here on the channel. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths because it feels really good. Brings down the cortisol, the stress, and helps us to get clear-minded. While I lay out your spread. Okay, yeah. You are definitely working through some of your stuff. I think you're being brave here. I think you're trying to get down into the deeper levels of things about yourself in order to move forward in life. And look at these major arcana. Wow. I'm going to show you each one of these cards, and I'm going to read today horizontally, vertically, and big picture. Okay? So since I've already read that card for you, Serenity, what I'm going to do, because I can see some big stuff here on your table, I am going to pull 2 more from the top of the deck. Since I'm not reading from the book today. Okay, look at this. We had Serenity. Then I just pulled You Are Not Alone. You Are Not Alone. We are here for you. We never left. Through all the sadness and loneliness, however, you cannot sense us near you or feel how much love we're sending you. We're your family, friends, and guides, right? We all have kind of guides, our ancestors that help us through. You never walk alone. We walk right beside you, okay? Serenity, you are not alone, and then forgiveness. Okay. It says holding on to resentment and anger is preventing you or even suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment's one of the strongest and most damaging of human emotions. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. That's what I'm seeing here on the table today. I wanted those couple of extra cards to see what you're trying to find serenity from, because I can see that there's some big energies here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana on the table and 1 under the deck already. That's big. Okay, now there's a lot of big energies going on. And this week in particular, I did want to tell you, with the Sun opposing Neptune, this can be about disillusionment, right? It really can. And our ideals, right? What we really believe in. On the 14th, on Tuesday, Mars enters Libra, and it will be in Libra until the end of October. So throughout most of, Mercury retrograde as well, which can be self-sacrificing. It could be how we feel a little frustrated about relationships or even about communication in relationships. That's for sure. On the 16th into the 17th, we're going to have, which would be a Thursday, Friday time, Venus square Saturn. So working on the things that we value and how we talk to each other, relationship, issues, which activates that kind of Saturn-Uranus square about kind of leaving the old behind and bringing in the new into our lives. These are big energies, and I'm seeing that on your table. So let's look at it. Let's go across first. We have the Prince of Cups. This is love, right? It's a message of love coming in. Then we have the Devil card, or Cernunnos in this deck. This is a Celtic deck. And then the Prince of Pentacles. So what I'm seeing here is, I think you're trying to be kind to yourself because you've been going for a long time, working really hard, trying to work on some of your internal fears. Since I see this card between these cards, it's like trying to be kind to yourself about how you are moving through life, right? Day after day. In Virgo season right now, the Prince of Earth is really that, isn't it? Prince of Pentacles, which is moving forward day by day, steady Freddy, steady as she goes in your work life, right? And with this in center, so it's like you're being kind to yourself, trying to work through your stuff. That's what I'm seeing, Aries, right? Working through what keeps you stuck, the things you fear, the things that we get bound to, we can obsess over, or we just get into the bad habit of. And I think you're trying to work through those things and give yourself something new, a new way of looking at the way that you kind of process things and work through things in your life, right? So not denying things, actually working on it and being kind to yourself about it. Then in the next row, I have the High Priestess, another major arcana, the Chariot, another major arcana, and the Three of Wands. So looking into your future with the Three of Wands and hoping for good things to come in, of course, being hopeful, knowing you've started a journey, you've taken a road, and it's working, it's moving forward, and now what's coming in, right? It's looking toward the future. So here we've got with the High Priestess and the Chariot, it's like somewhere deep down inside, okay, you're dealing with whatever issues, and you're trying to make that change. Be a little nicer to yourself, talk to yourself maybe in a kinder way, and practice, I think, forgiveness. Right? It reminds me of the Ho'oponopono prayer, that Hawaiian prayer, which is a beautiful, very, very simple thing that you say to yourself in order to work on your self-forgiveness. For maybe not taking action earlier and changing a habit that you've wanted to, right? We all do this, Aries, every one of us. And I keep mentioning it, and I will continue to keep mentioning it because it's going to last for a few more years. With Chiron and Aries, we're all working on our self-healing. This is a big thing that we're all doing. So trusting your intuition, listening to the voice inside of yourself that is always loving, right? It knows the depth of your issues, your fears, and your pain. This High Priestess, it's like the oracle at Delphi, right? Know thyself. That's what this represents with the High Priestess. So knowing thyself, you understand that you're in the driver's seat, that you can move forward now in the way that you want to move forward. And with the Three of Wands, I think you have a good outlook. I think you're trying to be really hopeful here. That is what I'm seeing. And maybe knowing that you might have to move forward on something that has been a sticking point, okay, with the card above it. And we'll go through the vertical here in a minute. The last line here is the Fool, taking a leap of faith, trusting yourself, right? That's under the High Priestess. I'll show you in a second. But I think you're really trying to trust yourself, trust your intuition about what's right for you, Aries, about what's going to help you really move forward in life, to give yourself a little bit more peace of mind. Something that makes you feel, I guess, just better in your own skin, right? With the Ten of Wands, you've been carrying something for a long time, something internal that's been a lot of pressure. It's been something that you've needed to work through with the Seven of Swords to come up with a different solution, a new way to kind of release yourself from this stress, the thing that you've been carrying for so long. And the thing that you know is disingenuous to who you really want to be now, right? It's a way of telling yourself a different story about who you can be and what you can do. We're all working on things like this. This is major for you. And I think right now in Virgo season, with that Virgo new moon last week, I think you're trying to establish maybe a new habit, a new way of doing something on the daily that you can continue to practice. And very much, it could be a new sort of spiritual practice. It could be anything. It could be Tai Chi. It could be daily prayer. It could be yoga, meditation, breath work. There are so many ways, candle gazing, like that people can get into the mode of taking some time for oneself so that you can be in a nice and good open-hearted space to give your love to others. And that's what we're working through. Virgo season, how we do it habitually to take care of ourselves. Moving into Libra season next week so that we can give to others, right? That makes sense. It's kind of how the zodiac works, right? We're going around the wheel. This is on the bottom of the deck today, the Wheel of Fortune. So times are changing. I know that you feel it. You've told yourself, I don't want to feel this way anymore, Five of Pentacles, like I'm not enough. I don't want to tell myself that. I'm telling myself the truth with the Sun of who I actually really, really am. I'm not going to doubt myself as much anymore. It's time for me to see myself for everything that I truly was born to be. Your gifts, your skills, your talents, and your abilities, and owning that, and not being afraid to take a shot. I think that's what you're trying to tell yourself here. It's like, I'm drawing a line in the sand for myself. I don't necessarily think you're drawing a line in the sand with anyone else. I think you're doing it for yourself. And you're saying, nope, not anymore. No more am I doing this to myself. Fearing love or intimacy or even self-awareness of what kind of love you want to have in life. Okay, let's go down the vertical. Now that we know that we're looking at things that have disappointed you in the past and made you feel less than, and that could just be the things that you're telling yourself in your head, or it could be from losses that you've had in life that have just taken their toll, right? With this Ten of Wands, it's taken its toll, right, Aries? And now you're like, I'm looking up again, because it's the only way to move through life, isn't it? We have to get to the point where we, access our feelings. We tell ourselves the truth of why we feel what we feel. And then we decide, okay, so how do I move myself forward now? I've learned from that, but how do I move myself forward now? Okay, so let's go down the vertical. Prince of Cups with the High Priestess is about telling yourself the truth from deep, deep down inside, right? Not just from the part of yourself that is in the light, the part that you're proud of, the part that you like about yourself, but also in the shadow, the part that you fear, the part that makes you feel less than, or the part that makes you doubt, right? Or have lack of faith or trust because you've been hurt by whatever in life. And the Fool energy now, it's also your energy, Aries. This card can very much represent your energy. Taking a risk, taking a leap of faith and saying, I'm going to go forward now. I know that deep down inside, I'm telling myself, I can do this. That's what I'm seeing here. I can do this. I can do this for myself. Whatever this is, this new self-belief. I'm coming out of fear or worry or control issues or anything that this card might represent. What gets you stuck in life, those cycles, those patterns. Very often this card represents the patterns that we repeat that are generational, familial, or even if it's only in relationship, like dating the same kind of person, right? That kind of over and over and over, making that mistake, right? Over and over. You're moving forward from that. You're like, okay, I'm in the driver's seat of my own life. I can choose which road to go down. I'm not going to go down this road anymore, telling myself that love sucks, it's a burden, it's too hard, or I've got too much on my plate, somehow I'm broken and not good in relationship, right? These are things that people say to themselves when they're doubting, when they've lost faith in love. So if this is something you've been working through, you are successfully working through it. You are getting past it, Aries. The 10 of Wands is when we finally drop the burden of whatever this was about. We don't carry it anymore. We say, okay, you know, I'm taking my free will and I'm dropping this burden by thinking about it differently, by using my energy differently, by not carrying it and shoving it down, these resentments. Whatever the resentments were about. Even if they're resentments toward oneself, they can be. You can resent the dreams you had to let go of. And right now the planets, you know, the sun opposite Neptune can make us feel that way. I've had to let go of this dream or that dream, and I've been disillusioned by life. And it's really hard not to feel a sense of resentment about that, right? This is very human, right? This is something that all human beings go through. And it's time for you to be now humane to yourself and say, wow, okay, I've made some mistakes. I've taken missteps. I've gone down this road. It wasn't for me. I pivoted. That's okay. But now I'm getting steady about it. My day-to-day life is looking more hopeful. And I'm seeing a future for myself that I can believe in. Something I can trust again. Because I'm going to care for myself in a way that I hadn't before. I'm going to listen to that little voice inside that guides me along the way. I can make adjustments with the Seven of Swords. I can make a new plan, a different strategy. In this deck, it has a little bit more of a different flavor, the Seven of Swords. In this deck, it's more about strategizing, coming up with a new plan. Right? Sevens are about making adjustments. And the Seven of Swords is adjusting our thinking. It can be where we have mistrust. And it's saying, you know what? I'm going to trust. I'm going to move forward day after day with hope about my future. And I'll adjust as I need to. Right? I'll readjust as I need to. And when I deal with my fears, I'm just going to get in the driver's seat again and go in a new direction so I don't get back into this energy where I'm carrying it for forever and ever and ever. Big picture here is this is a time of change for you right now. I think that the full moon in Pisces will be big for you, Aries. And I think that because it's your 12th house, when the full moon comes, and that will be on the September 27th, full moon in Pisces, I think that's when you're going to be able to let go of this stuff and forgive whomever or yourself. That's what I'm seeing here. So stay in your serenity and be kind to yourself and give yourself that cup of love, because that's exactly what you're meant to be doing right now in this last week of Virgo season. I wish you the best, Aries. I wish you kindness, reverence, and gratitude. Thank you for stopping by the channel today, and I'll see you next week.